Hi everyone and welcome to FlatWebTV, the monthly show where we talk about everything that's happening in the world of Flatland BMX. I'm Anthony Bulio.
And I'm Justin Hoey.
And this is FlatWebTV, and this one is dedicated to Chase's speedy recovery. All right, everybody, welcome back to FlatWebTV episode number 9. We are moving along top speed now. There's no stopping us.
Absolutely. I mean, It's great. I mean, number 9, good viewership so far. We had a great mid-cycle release there.
Thank you.
Very special
trip. Japan. It was definitely a fun one for us to put together.
It was a lot of fun. It's fun for us to collaborate on projects like that, and we're going to keep on doing them.
Keep on going, yeah.
Absolutely. So let's, should we jump right in?
Let's get started. So a lot of stuff happened over the past month or so, and a lot of stuff still happens. It's kind of like the end of summer. Lots of things are, just trying to squeeze into the good weather, but good weather for some people. We had our annual summer Portland Flatland Jam a couple weeks ago, and it was about 95 degrees. There was not a cloud in the sky.
No, but it was a great turnout, though.
Very good turnout. Lots of street riders came out. Bunch of guys from Seattle.
Yep, we had, I think, pretty much the full Seattle crew.
I think so, yeah.
Down. I think there might have been 1 or 2 people that didn't quite make it to the event from Seattle, but still, hands down, great. Again, classic Portland event where it's a BMX event. There were street riders that came out.
We made the shirts for the jam and passed them out to everybody. Just a plethora of sponsors kicked in.
Holy mackerel. Let's start the list here.
I had to write it down because there's just too many to remember. So first and foremost, we want to thank all the sponsors. So we had Animal, Bike Gallery, Flatland Fuel, Goods BMX, Hoffman Bikes, Low Tech, Primo, Profile Racing, SE Bikes, and Solid Bikes. All sent stuff. Everybody went home with some goods. It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just like a button or some stickers. It was like sprockets, pedals, grips, a brand new set of Holobite Primo cranks. Short ones, not like 175s. These were Flatland length cranks.
Fish Johnson won those for the game of bike.
And who's he work for again?
Yeah, we're not going to say. Solid sent some bars. Hoffman sent a stem that went to a guy who just needed a stem, coincidentally. Yeah. So big thanks to those guys for just sending us product. I know, we're always asking for stuff, and we don't need money. We just need to give away some nice small goodies to keep the crowd interested.
Oh, absolutely, and show off new products, or if for whatever.
Yeah.
Just get people excited or stoked. So. Yeah, it was a great event. Our buddy Mark Rainha did a bunch of filming, and should have an edit, I would say, within the next month or so.
Yeah, it should be a cool edit. He was out with the glide cam, making sure he covered everybody.
Yeah, you don't want to rush those creative juices.
No, you don't.
We do that a lot, though.
We do that every episode.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of Mark,
yes.
Mark Rainha, so this is a little cross promotion for our friends over at Freestyle 5. But Mark Rainha, local Portland guy, is putting together something I'm just so excited about. The community video. This is a true freestyle video, and it promises to have street, dirt, park, ramp, flatland.
Yep.
Back in the day when a freestyle video was everything.
Yeah, and it's not like with this video, it's very different. I'm so used to a lot of the videos that come out that are boring. It's the same tricks you see all the time from the same
formula.
People. Same formula. It's like rinse, wash, repeat, right? And I think people are tired of that. This is definitely a different video. It's exciting. The trailer was very well put together, and it's going to show. It really shows you guys the caliber of riding that you're going to see through this whole video that he's got coming up.
And almost equally important, the vibe. The vibe that you get when you're riding with your friends, having fun. And I think that's at Mark's heart, is capturing the community.
Exactly. And I think it speaks to Portland and really the Northwest scene in general of how it really is a big community here of riders. It's not, you can be out riding and see somebody riding the street, and there'll be somebody riding Flatland in a parking lot, and people can hang out and have fun. I mean, like our jams here. The winter jam was no exception.
Yep.
The jam that we just had, the Enjoy the Trick guys, Joe and
James,
and James, really put together a great contest.
So be on the lookout for that. I think it's scheduled for a 2012 release. There's going to be a lot of filming going down, but the trailer is out. It really captures what the video is going to be all about, so check that out.
Absolutely.
Speaking of video releases, this one's pretty exciting. So
it is a little more closer to the Flatland community.
Everybody is familiar with this series. I think the Diversion series is responsible for keeping a lot of people motivated during the dark years.
I think between that and Flatland Manifesto, I think it was like Flatland Manifesto and then boom, Diversion, just a bomb dropped.
High quality, good riders, always a joy to watch those, and a little quiet lately.
I don't know. I guess it depends on what you mean by quiet.
Well, obviously there's no more DVDs coming out.
But
so that to me is a little quiet.
Okay.
But there is a bit of exciting news. He's got a new video that will be coming out free online on DiversionTV.com, right?
Yep.
It's called Beyond the Future. It is focused on the riders from Okinawa and Kobe in Japan. So a couple guys that we know, I think Shinichi Kiba, who we interviewed last episode.
You know him. I've never met him.
He's a great guy. He'll be in it. I think one of our friends who was staying in Vancouver, Taka, might be in that as well.
Who was at the Seattle, the guy that was in the Seattle Jam?
He was at the Seattle Jam a while ago. So the trailer looks amazing. It is dropping September 6th. Go to DiversionTV.com. Check out the countdown. It's pretty cool. There's actually a countdown for this.
This is that new formula, that we've been talking about here. The new
this
formula,
is the good formula.
New world
like this
of BMX.
Yeah, this one I actually like to watch because there's cinematography put into it. There's a great soundtrack by AF the Naysayer, who we've reviewed before.
Yep.
So I'm real excited. September 6th, check it out. It's going to be massive. Speaking of Bobby, kind of on the opposite end of the way DVDs and video releases make you feel.
The giant conversation, and we've touched on it briefly, is the world of pro BMX Flatland contests.
Yeah, so Bobby and Effraim were having a conversation, and they put it up on the web for everybody to read. And it really surrounds the latest controversy, which I believe happened in Buffalo, but it's been bubbling for a while, over the way that we judge pro contests.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. You and I have had conversations of how in the world can you judge these contests?
Yeah.
You've got riders, Dominic, who are very, very technical, do a lot of really hard switches, type of stuff. I can't even describe the style. And then you've got riders like Matthias, who, very fluid, very street influence. How do you compare the level of riding there? And then you've got riders like Matt Wilhelm, which is super fast, super hard tricks, and a lot of strength built into those. And between those three, they're all amazing riders.
Yeah, the conversation brought up a lot of good points. I think some of the ones that we've been talking about either publicly or privately. And the first one that I thought was really important was that there really is no objective way to judge riders. There's no what they call a trick book. Like in figure skating, a triple sow cow is always rated this amount of points for this amount of trick.
Correct.
But a BMX trick or a flatland trick doesn't have that built-in rating system. So it's all subjective. It
is subjective, and it's a very interesting way to look at it. With figure skating, right? Like they've got a routine. They've got to hit that routine just right and to equal enough points.
Yeah. Right.
And I've talked about this with a few people. Is how do you do that with Flatland, and can you do it in a way to where it's entertaining still?
And that was a good point that they brought up. Yep. That Flatland as a contest or Flatland packaged as entertainment, it's quite different. The pros that go to the contest, they might spend some of their own money to get there.
Yeah.
Prize money rarely covers travel expenses, and sponsors also rarely cover travel expenses. For the lucky guys that do, it's good for them. But it's important to note that these guys, the amount of time that they have to put into practicing these routines, because it's all about consistency now. It's not about going for it and dropping the latest hit, because if you touch 2 or 3 times, you've got no chance of winning.
Yeah, because you're based upon, you know, start to finish combo, and if you touch down, boop, done. It's not like I guess you call it the good old days when it was, I'm gonna do 30 pinky squeaks to 7 bar flips to a hitchhiker to a tomahawk out. You know what I mean? And that was, don't get me wrong, I couldn't touch that, but
that's a long contest run.
Hey man, people did contest runs like that. You know, it was like a minute and a half, and they did one combo.
Yeah.
So I think to mind Dan Rigby.
Sure.
You know, I don't think he specifically, but he had really long, manly combos.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's we're not in that state anymore. You know, the world of Flatland has changed again. It evolves.
Yeah.
And that's great. But how do we package that now? Well, you know, you look at so the only other thing I was going to say before we move on to the next point is, you know, look at riders like Terry Adams, who approaches the sport and approaches being a pro a bit differently than many pros do.
It's his full-time job, and I mean, he's been in a different city, it seems like, every other week this summer.
Every day.
On tour, doing campus tours, doing shows. Wilhelm does a lot of shows as well.
Yep.
I mean, they treat it like it's a job. They wake up, they practice, they figure out where their sponsors can send them, they do a show, and they hustle to keep that Flatland lifestyle going. So that's part of the entertainment value, right?
Exactly, and I think that's where, and the event that you went to in Japan,
which is I wanted to bring up. So that contest, it was a pro contest. 9 riders entered. First of all, everybody in Japan is so nice that there would be no beef if I won. They'd be like, okay, he won, whatever.
Didn't something like that happen?
Yeah, it did. But they wouldn't complain about it, especially on a internet forum. But anyway, that contest was packaged as a complete event. You had dancing, skateboarding, MC, graffiti, and Flatland. It's really hard to do it by itself, but if you package it as an event, it can work. The Solstice event, which we'll talk about later on in the show, is like this. It's a complete event. It's hip-hop and graffiti culture and b-boy culture, dirt riding, Flatland. And it's an event.
You've got to capture it in the right light, and I think that's been missing from the equation. So I don't think we claim to have the answer for this, but this is a great article.
Thanks to Bobby and Effraim for putting this up online. I think it raises a lot of good points. My only fear is that it's just going to go the way that a lot of things on the internet go, just be forgotten, and the next contest somebody will win that they don't think should have won. And
well, you know, what I think is going to help, and something that I would love to see, and unfortunately I don't think you or I are in a position to do anything about it, given that we're not pro riders and we don't have that level of influence.
Sure.
But I would love to see some sort of a little bit more collaboration worldwide. And I've said this before, the only way that we're going to grow this sport is if we come together and do more together.
Yeah.
You know, we have, and you know, that's really how it's going to grow. I think if we had some sort of like council or committee.
They mentioned a governing body.
Some sort of, yeah, I mean a governing body that.
Bring back the AFA.
We need something, right? You know, there's a board, you can only be on there a certain amount of time, it's changed out, you know, and that is what happens. So I think
we'll leave it there, but
leave it at that.
Go check out the conversation if you haven't already. Post comments if you haven't already. Get involved if you want to see this change. Make your voice heard.
Absolutely.
And if you know you think you should have won at a contest or someone else did, you know, work for the next contest. Make it better next time. Don't bring it down that time.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
Yeah. One thing that's connected, the last thing we'll just talk about in this opening segment to Effraim is the King of Southsea contest that went down, I think, a week ago. Congratulations to Pete Holinger, sick child rider.
Sick child rider.
Yeah.
Long time sick child rider.
For sure. I think he took first place, and I think that's one of Ephraim's events and projects.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the footage or not, but I only saw a couple of the clips from a few of the runs, and great riding, great event, looked like fun. I mean, it's a Flatland event. How can you not have fun in a Flatland event?
And it was in most of the clips it looked sunny there, which is great.
You know, it's been sunny here except the past couple of days.
England and Portland share a lot of the same weather characteristics, so we're always surprised when the sun is out.
I hear that a lot from my UK brethren at work.
So all of these stories seem to be connected, and that's partly by design, but mostly by accident.
True.
The rider of the month happened to have been at that contest.
That's correct. And we try to cover these riders in the months as much as we can.
Yep.
Sometimes we go over a bit on shows and
like last time, but we won't this time, we promise. So the second place rider, right behind Pete, was, and there's no chance I'm going to pronounce this name correctly. Don't even.
I won't even try.
But he's from Hungary. His name could be Gergely Szajer or Szajer.
We'll hear about it the day after, or
I
the day
hope
of,
so.
within the minute of this release.
Send us how to pronounce that name. We're stupid Americans. We're sorry. He put down a run. He put down
that
some
video was
amazing
great.
front wheel stuff. He deserves Rider of the Month for sure.
Solid run.
Yeah.
The clip that I saw on Vimeo is just looked super consistent. I mean, so talk about picture perfect run.
Yeah, had good style.
Solid, great style, good tricks. Didn't look nervous.
Looked like he was having fun. He's only 23.
I don't know what that was like.
I don't. That was
Well,
long time ago.
Maybe not being solid in a contest. But.
Yeah. But well-deserved Rider of the Month from Global. Also well-deserved second place at King of Southsea. It's good to see that he's traveling and entering some contests over there. So congrats to him, and congrats on the Rider of the Month award.
Congratulations.
Yeah, cheers. The next thing we want to talk about is something that is near and dear to my heart, because I am old, and I was born way back in the 70s.
And, okay, yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why I got into BMX in the first place. But we just had the 25th anniversary of the movie RAD.
Which I think if you are into BMX at all, you've probably seen this movie.
And it depends. Like, if you were into it when I was into it, you thought it was the coolest thing on earth. If you saw it 10 years later, you're like, wow, that's cheesy.
No. I saw that. I thought it was the coolest
You thought it was cool?
I thought it was the coolest thing on the face of the
Okay.
planet. I have the,
The bootleg. Don't even say.
No, I don't.
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't.
So,
I have the VHS.
yeah, right. They all went to Cochrane, Alberta, Canada, which is where it was filmed.
Yep.
They all, I mean, a lot of people. So
A lot of people that were involved with the film, that were in the film.
The director was there.
Yep, and the person creating the...
Crew Jones himself, Mr. Bill Allen, was there. And I met him at the old school reunion in Woodward West many months ago. Such a nice guy, really cool to hang out with. He appreciates what BMX did for him. It was, obviously one of the bigger things that he was in. I saw a video that had Martin Aparijo and Eddie Fiola in it doing some tricks on stage at the premiere.
That was cool.
So, give us a little leeway. We're going to geek out and just give a mention to RAD, 25th anniversary.
Did he over-rotate on the stage?
Oh, he over-rotated, for sure. And afterwards, we're going ass sliding, me and Justin, because it's special.
It's going to be great. We're going to wear wigs. It's going to be awesome.
I don't know why Lori Loughlin didn't go. Maybe
she's too...
Full House got her...
She's probably embarrassed of
that she was in that?
And every BMXer on the planet's like, you were in the movie RAD. Oh my gosh.
You and Crew Jones.
Hey, do you hang out with Crew still?
Can you do the bicycle boogie? Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Enough of that. But check it out. Also, what you mentioned is that there is a documentary in the works, documentary of it, kind of RAD revisited. So check that out online. It's pretty cool.
Now, I have a little tidbit I want to bring up. I just kind of thought of this since we brought up the fact of this documentary. But there's another documentary in the works, I've heard. So we've seen the Joe Kidd on a Stingray.
Yep.
We have seen
I
Stomp
know what
and
you're talking
Stu
about, yeah.
Thompson. There were rumors of maybe one about Kevin Jones, or maybe the Plywood Hoods, or what did they call it? No, there was the other name. What was the other name?
The Cardboard Lords?
Cardboard Lords, kind of the whole evolution
Breakdancing,
there.
yeah.
So I heard that there might be one about Mongoose.
Oh, that's right. I heard that too. So, I saw a little clip on that, and they talked about how the Moto Mag kind of changed the industry at the time, and yeah, I think that would be pretty interesting.
Don't want to spend much time on it. I just we were talking about that, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that. So I wanted to bring that up. So if you know anything about it, if
you want to debut it on our show,
or we'd be happy to do a video review.
Send it our way. We'll talk about it. Moto Mags are cool.
Awesome.
Speaking of media coverage,
yes,
and this one's major. This almost got top billing.
Oh,
we could have done a whole show about this.
And it goes into kind of what we had talked about earlier in our little chit chat.
Yeah. So our good friend,
who
I call
think
him a good friend because he's from Chicago.
Did you guys hang out a lot?
Just twice. I can remember twice hanging out with him when I was 12 years old. Matt Wilhelm.
How old was he?
He must have been 10 or 11. He was just a little bit younger than me. Already better than me. He was on America's Got Talent, as everybody knows, and there was just a huge push, first of all, from the YouTube competition to get him onto the show. The last time I checked, there were more than 300,000 views on that video alone.
Which, for a Flatland video,
Jeez.
Wow. I think the only person who might have beat that is Mr. Coon with his Monster Whip video.
Okay.
But anyway.
300,000 is nothing to sneeze at.
For a Flatland video, amazing.
Amazing. And that got him onto the show. During that first round, he just blew the doors off everybody.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know what the next... when they talked about it, they like blew the doors off the YouTube, hugest numbers. They were just blown away by the number of viewers.
And I think they were honestly, just wowed by what he could do on a bike in the dark. I mean, this is in the dark.
And he filmed it with his iPhone.
And on the stage, also in the dark. So he made it to the semifinals, and that's where the run kind of ended.
It did. It's kind of tough, right? For his show, skit, I don't know what you want to call it. Performance.
Had to make it a performance.
His performance, it was super difficult. There was a lot of pressure on him to perform extremely well. And Matt is one of the best riders in the world.
Sure.
Arguably. Like, having problems.
Go for it.
Anyway, great rider. And he had I think he touched once.
He bailed once.
Oh, that's what it was.
Sure.
He bailed once. And I think, they called him out on that. I think that might have been kind of the end for him. But
they called him out, but still, I watched the rest of that show, and
he was on there 3 times.
Yeah.
The YouTube video, his second performance,
and
which is
the
on stage, and the semifinals.
Yeah.
On national TV, trying to get the chance for a $1 million prize.
Yeah, and you know what?
Wow.
He didn't get the $1 million prize, but he showed Flatland to more than 1 million people. I mean, just gazillions of people. So, cheers to that.
Oh, man,
Thank you
cheers
so much.
to that. Now, yeah. So, and I think he did something that really it made me kind of give a second thought to Flatland and how we present the sport, and really doing something more of an entertainment value to it. I think about Marcus Jesus?
In Cirque du Soleil.
In Cirque du Soleil. And at the time I was like, oh man, really? Circus performance? Really? And now I'm like,
hey.
I'm thinking that's not that big of a deal. Our buddy Blake does that,
the Tron
twice
bike.
a week?
Yeah, he performs locally. So these people are doing what they can do. They love Flatland, but they're doing what they can do to make money from it and support their lifestyle from it. And
they're showing Flatland. I used to dog on it, and I feel bad about it now. And now I get it. I totally get it. It takes, and unfortunately it took, for me to, see Matt Wilhelm, just kill it up there.
Well, if you want to be super hardcore and spend your days in a parking lot alone, that's fine. Nobody's saying there's anything wrong with that. And you'll probably progress the sport with your tricks. But these guys are progressing the sport with their demonstrations, and there's room for everybody.
Absolutely.
In this world. So
absolutely.
Just cheers to Matt Wilhelm for making it that far. There's millions of people who probably not millions, but thousands of people who try to get on that show. And he made it to the semifinals, so...
Which is saying something.
Now, it's saying a big thing.
Something else to note, James...
James McGraw.
James McGraw from the Yellow Design Stunt Team. I think we all know James McGraw from one of these diversion videos. I don't know which one. He's got a little piece in one of those videos.
Okay.
Was on there with Yellow Design Stunt Team with AJ, can't remember his last name, who was at Dew Tour, placed, I think, second or something like that in dirt or in park. Anyway, he was there, killed it. And they did pretty well. They had 2 demonstrations, or maybe it was 2 or 3 performances on the show as well.
Yeah, they had an interesting mix of choreographed Flatland, ramp, and kind of dance. Definitely angling for that Las Vegas show feel. I
bought it, man. If that was a show in Vegas, I would go pay to see it in an instant. Yeah,
that was interesting. Definitely, Matt was kind of on his own. Funny story about Matt's last performance is that Bobby Carter was the guy who handed him his bike.
That's awesome.
In the, obviously he was invisible because of the black lights.
Still,
he
that's
had
so
it in
cool.
the bike. So
That's so cool. All right. Well, I think we should probably cut that short.
Yeah. So we got one more thing that we want to talk about, and this one's a pretty serious one. There is.
If we're going to talk about anything on the show, or if people watch any part of the show, this is the most important thing we could talk about. Period.
Absolutely. So we've seen online recently the letter that Brandon Fenton posted, talking about the illness that Chase Gwynn is fighting right now. It's obviously nothing to joke about.
No, not at all. It's
when
very serious.
Inhale mold spores and you get that in your system, you're in for a fight. Yeah, and for sure.
Prolonged exposure from an not well ventilated area.
Yeah.
It's really sad to hear about it. I mean,
no matter what you think about Chase's riding, you don't want to see anybody go through this thing that he's going to go through.
Not at all. It's awful. It's awful. And unfortunately, he's in a bit of a bind.
Yeah, it's made worse. It's not only this all the symptoms that he's fighting. There are economic issues to this, and the fact that he's trying to get to the right doctors, and there's just doesn't seem like there's a lot of hope.
No, it's pretty expensive too for some of the treatments and the tests that need to be done.
Absolutely.
To diagnose this and to treat this appropriately. So I know there's a lot of people out there talking about. A lot of people out there talking about this right now, and we want to definitely show our support and hope for a speedy recovery.
Yeah, I donated. It doesn't take a lot. If everybody donates a little bit, that recovery fund can grow.
Yeah.
So I donated what I thought I could at the time. If everybody does the same, don't go overboard. Just send what you can.
Do what you can. $1. I mean, if you can do $1, I think even that. I mean,
every little bit helps.
Anything helps. Anything we can do to help out a rider that's really helped grow our sport and invent tricks that I'm pretty sure all of us do.
Yeah, there's really no denying the impact that he's had on Flatland.
Yeah, it's
time sport.
It's time to pay it back.
Yeah, and you know what? There's something really cool that Pat at Flatland Fuel is doing.
Yep. So I saw a post on Global Flat. Sent him a message real quick. He just sent me a message a few minutes ago, letting me know that him and Michael Meza and a friend of Chase's are designing a shirt, and all the money that comes in from that, I believe, is going directly to Chase. I don't know much more than that, but there will be some details to follow up on Global and on flatlandfuel.com.
Buy that shirt.
Buy that shirt. Buy two. But
put your girlfriend in one.
That's cool too.
That'd be cool.
Send us pictures.
Send us pictures.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, definitely get behind this. The fund is being managed by one of Chase's close friends.
Correct. Brandon's
getting involved with it. I believe there are some Rial stems that went up on eBay, and all those proceeds are going to go to the fund as well. Do what you can. Let's get this fund built up so that he can see the right doctor and just get this thing taken care of. Modern medicine can solve a lot of problems, but if you don't have access to it, you're screwed. So let's get him the access to it, and let's see him back on his bike as soon as we can.
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
Well, we are coming to a close on our show. We've got a few events we'll go through real quickly.
Yeah, not unlike last month. There's a lot of events going on.
Yeah.
So we'll fly through these.
Sure. First one.
It's a busy month. So in France, this has been happening for a couple of years. The competition that happens in Lyon, France. So the Common in Lyon. So last year, Matthias won this. I think Des got second place. I did not see a list yet of who's going to be there, but check it out. I know Carhartt, St. Martin, Magic Fruits, a lot of other people are supporting this contest. It should be cool.
Awesome.
Also in Europe, in Belgium, which I love. I've been there just for a couple days. It's one of my favorite countries, cities. It's great. An event called the Xtreme Experience. There is a bunch of extreme stuff going on. Extreme stuff. But there's a Flatland part of the event, so that should be cool. That's going to happen on the 4th of September. Also in Europe, it's a big month for Europe.
It's a big month for Europe always.
How you like that? The Pot Jam, and that's not what you think. It's not Rasta-influenced herbal jam.
I'm not sure what you
So
mean.
the Pot Jam 7, I didn't see a whole lot of info on this, but I know it's happening in Germany on the 10th and 11th of September. finally we get back to a U.S. event.
Well, it's in. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that's okay.
It's in Cali. So in Pico Rivera, we talked about this early in the show. The Solstice BMX contest.
I do remember this now.
This is a full-on event. So you're gonna see flatland and dirt riding, but amongst that, you will also see hip hop, b-boys, breakdancing, full-on b-boy culture. And I think this is one of the ways to do flatland is connect it with other b-boy and cool, young, hip event stuff.
Well, it's combining arts. It's combining the arts.
Combine the arts.
It's like, it's like other things. It's just combining like things into like audiences, and
absolutely,
and people love it, right?
And you get people involved.
Fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
One thing I want to mention is on their website, something funny that my friend Bill Freeman told me about today, is they poached a picture of me.
Is that where that came from?
Yeah, from the Winter Portland Flatland Jam, a picture that Jared Sooney took.
Is he mad?
I haven't heard back from him yet, but they're using it as part of their webpage.
Well, congrats for you.
Thank you. I couldn't be more flattered, but it's
Jared,
not my picture. It's
I
Jared's
feel bad
photo.
for him since he makes a living taking photos.
Absolutely, but
sorry, Jared.
Check it out. It is on the 17th and 18th of September. Again, Pico Rivera, California. I know the One Love crew will be there. Check it out. It should be a great event. A couple more in Indonesia.
Gosh almighty, we have a lot of events.
A lot of events. This is another one that I didn't see a lot of information about, but this is the BMX Open Championship happening on the 24th. Check the web for updates because there really wasn't much on there.
No, I tried to look for a few details today when I was pulling down content. Didn't seem to be a whole ton of things. I couldn't even really find images on it. But we do know about round 1, round 2. We've seen them already in the past.
This is round 3.
So round 3, it's gonna be epic.
Last year, I think York and Hiroya from Japan were there, so it might be pretty cool.
Good.
Another one in Europe. You guys are just cranking them out this month, and this one looked kind of cool. The Vienna Picnic Jam. So the flyer is awesome. There's a bike and a picnic basket.
I know. It's great.
And my favorite is the tagline. It says, a BMX Flatland Jam for everybody. So simple, so pure, but I just love it. Check it out. That's going to happen also on the 24th of September.
Last one.
Finally, also on the 24th of September in Baltimore. I think they did this last year. It's been going on for a little while, the Baltimore Jam. All I know about this is it's going to happen in the parking lot where the Ravens play, so it's a big football stadium.
Well, the jam gets bigger and bigger every year. I think this will be the third one I believe they've done, or the third jam total they've done. I think this is the second annual one of this one.
Do you know who is a confirmed attendee?
I don't know who any of the confirmed attendees.
Jimmy Kibbins.
No way.
Yes.
He made it into the show.
He always makes it into the show. Jimmy Kibbins at the Baltimore Flatland Jam, so check it out.
I've been trying to think of a way to bring it in.
24th of September. I want to see a video of Jimmy from that event.
Because we didn't get a clip of him in the last contest.
No, we're sorry.
So, but anyway,
he did
Baltimore.
Win the overall.
I've got family in Baltimore, actually.
Head out there.
I would love to, unfortunately.
We hope you guys are okay from the hurricane that just went up the East Coast.
Oh my gosh, yeah. How can we forget that? Yeah.
So I talked to a few people today that were still without power.
Yeah, I got a buddy that I work with in Mystic, Connecticut, and he's actually had to stay in a hotel just because there's no power or heat at his house. So him and his wife were in a hotel. But actually, my work is comping it, so pretty cool. Pretty cool. So
that kind of brings us to the end of episode 9. It was a long show again. Sorry to keep you waiting for all this time, but
hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys had fun with us, and we'll continue to try to bring you guys the top news and happenings. If you're checking us out on Vimeo, feel free to check us out on all the other things that places that we are available. Yeah. iTunes, BlackBerry Podcast Market. If you've got an internet-enabled TV, search for us on Vimeo on there, or any of those other things. And if you use any other sort of RSS podcast droid, we are available on all of those things. So
send us feedback on Facebook if you like. We're always looking for comments and funny things and pictures, whatever you want. Send it to us.
Exactly. Or you got a video shout out. That'd be cool. We'll have it on the show.
Absolutely.
We'll have it. Yeah. Or if you can do a better opening than us, post it on Vimeo or on YouTube, and we'll use it on the show. That would be awesome.
One thing I forgot, Vancouver Jam this weekend. I will be there.
This won't be out. Oh, this will be out before then.
This should be out before the Vancouver Jam. I'm going to go up there and hang out with the great Canadians. Great jam. We'll have a report on it next month.
Awesome. So, Facebook.com/FlatWebTV. FlatWebTV.com. Check it out. And once again, my name is Justin Holinger.
I'm Anthony Bulio.
And this is FlatWebTV. Think about.
You used to prepare.
I did, and then I went from working, normal 8-hour days to, 12 to 14.
Are you getting this on screen? That violin? Playing the blues for him?
Playing the blues.
The world's saddest song.
It's the world's smallest violin. Saddest song.
Oh, so you prepared for that.
I am prepared for that. I hear it quite often.
Let's go.
All right. Am I doing the opening, or are you doing this, or what do you want to do? Want to flip a coin? Want to flip a sprocket?